Scriptable object. Okay. Asset generator inspector. That should fix that up. Okay, and now we're going to finally start creating our mesh generator. So I'm going to go into asset generators, create a new class, call it mesh generator.cs, star mesh generator. We will be using Unity engine as well as link. This will be a public class, star mesh generator, inherit from asset generator, which will mean that we'll need to implement our protected override function called generate assets. Okay, so we've got the bare bones here. Now, what are we doing? We're getting, if we remember, we're getting our stars. We're then converting those stars into a mesh, and then we're saving that asset. So let's have a look. We've got our star database loader. This is really what we'll be working with. We're gonna have a reference to this database loader so that we can get its stars that it stores. So let's go ahead and have a reference. We'll say public star database loader. We'll just call it database. And with those stars, we're going to create a mesh. So we'll have a void create mesh. Oh, so it's not going to be void. It's going to be it's going to return that mesh. Create mesh, and we're going to need those stars. So we'll say star info array stars, as well as we'll want to give it a name. So we'll have a string called. Give it a name. Okay. So if that's making sense, we're going to have our database. We're then gonna var mesh equals create mesh. We're gonna pass in the database stars, and we're also gonna have a name. I'll just call it stars for now. Stars. I'm trying to remember. Do I need to have stars or stars.mesh? I think it might need to be. No. That's when it gets saved. Yeah, the mesh name is just gonna be stars. Okay. Okay, so we have our stars, we have our name. Now we can go ahead and create a new mesh. So we say var mesh equals new mesh, mesh.name equals name, mesh.vertices equals stars dot select s dot position. So a vertex for each star's position, dot to array. Okay, we're going to do something a little interesting here because we're working with a point topology of the mesh. If you've ever worked with triangles in mesh generation, throw all that out the window. It's a very different way of looking at it. It says there's like an index for each point, and then we're gonna assign that. It looks a little strange. It's just how Unity does this. So we'll say an array of integers, of indices, and really all we need is a list for going from 0 to however many vertices there are. So how we can do this is just go stars dot select. Now if we in our select function, usually we just say select. This is saying for each star. But what we want to know now is we want to know for each star and its index in that array. So how we can do this is we go si. If we have two parameters in our select function, that I there is going to be our index of the star. So for 0, 1, 2, 3, for however many stars there are. And all we're going to do is we're going to return that index and convert that to an array. And now we can say mesh.set indices, and we're going to pass in those indices, and we're also going to need to set the mesh topology. Mesh topology dot. So we could have, like, for example, a lines. Maybe a line render or something like that would have lines, or a line strip, which is like a row of lines. Yeah. Anyway, we're just going to use points. And don't worry about this submesh. idea that, yeah, we're just using our submesh.